Hey guys, LevelCap here and welcome to This Week in Gaming. This week, Ubisoft announced that they're taking serious action to stop cheating in Rainbow Six Siege, and Nintendo's next console might be pretty interesting. If you're here for something like FPS or DLC news, just click its category to skip to that section of the video. Mobile users see the description for timestamps. Now, in addition to releasing the next DLC expansion, Skull Rain, for Rainbow Six Siege, Ubisoft will soon be deploying the most important post-launch patch the game has received yet. The patch will include a beta version of BattleEye, which is a client-side anti-cheat program developed for Siege. As a fan of Siege, I was really worried Ubisoft wasn't going to find a way to deal with cheaters. I wouldn't say that every game I've ever played has been full of cheaters, but there's enough of them playing where anytime someone gets an exceptionally remarkable kill, I can't help but wonder if they're cheating. Also, I hear it's pretty rampant in the competitive mode, which I avoid. The BattleEye beta client should be launching sometime shortly after Skull Rain's release, and is the first step towards a total overhaul of the way cheating is dealt with in Siege. Cheating in multiplayer games is honestly one of the worst problems I have with gaming today. Nothing ruins a good game like getting killed over and over by someone shooting you from under the map or through walls like they aren't even there. Rainbow Six, with its super quick time to kill and destruction mechanics, makes it a prime target for cheaters to abuse. Even something as simple as an aimbot will give a Rainbow Six player a huge advantage. Up until now, it seems like Ubisoft was taking a soft approach to deal with cheaters by relying on their existing anti-cheat system and being very slow to ban people it catches. This is the kind of game that rampant cheating could not only ruin my enjoyment, but prematurely put it in an early grave. The Division is probably the most recent example of this. Aside from the lack of meaningful endgame, cheaters have broken the Division to the point of making it not worth playing at all with other people. Even co-oping in PvE missions opens you up to the antics of anyone running cheats, considering it's been said the Division would need a complete rewrite to cure its cheater issues. Maybe Ubisoft can find a way to adapt the BattleEye client for it. The Division aside, I really hope Ubisoft is serious about putting a stop to cheating in Rainbow Six. Considering they want to be an esports title, I don't see how that's possible if they don't squash the cheating ASAP. If you want to get the details on the upcoming Skull Rain DLC and BattleEye patch, be sure to check out the video detailing both I did a few days ago. There's a lot to talk about and I covered all of it in the video, so click the screen or see the description to check it out. And speaking of esports, Dota 2's annual global championship, the International, has already surpassed last year's record-breaking prize pool total of $18.3 million, with a new $18.5 million crowdfunded so far. As it stands, the International once again has the year's biggest tournament prize pool, which is pretty remarkable given CSGO's incredible success this year. I wouldn't expect two games of such different genres to interfere much with each other's popularity, but it's still remarkable that both games are doing so well in such a saturated and competitive market. The International this year will also be available to view in VR, as Valve this week released a free VR spectator hub, which was teased back in April, right when the HTC Vive was launched. So I might be watching the International in VR. Who knows? We'll have to check it out. And when it comes to VR, its biggest issue right now is lack of content. There are plenty of games out now that support VR, but very few of them offer a premium experience that extends beyond being a simple tech demo. The broadcasting of esports is ripe to innovate the way live events are broadcast, because the event is happening in a 3D modeled environment, which means you can have people walk around and interact with the content as it's happening, at least in the limited capacity of a spectator. Dota 2's VR Hub is the first step towards realizing VR's potential as a media distribution platform. Things like the Foo Show from Tested co-founder Will Smith are proof that VR can be used to greatly enhance things like podcasts and demonstrational content in ways that we're just now starting to see the potential of. Imagine being able to walk around the map or arena of an ongoing match at a CSGO major. You'll be able to stand right next to a player in arena as he makes a play that wins the tournament. In VR, we won't just be able to watch these events, we'll be able to experience them firsthand. Whether that's more enjoyable than sitting back on the couch and watching it up on the big screen, or being virtualized in the actual competitive environment, is sort of up to the end user, but the fact that they're working on this technology is really cool. Personally, I'd love to see it come to actual sports, being able to virtualize myself on a football field and watch a game would be incredible. Now, in upcoming game news, it looks like PC players will have to wait 4 days to get their hands on No Man's Sky. The procedurally generated space adventure game launches for PS4 on August 9th in the US and globally for PC on August 12th. For PS4 owners out there, not only are you getting the game early, you're not going to have to pay for PlayStation Plus to play it. When people talk about the value of a PC over a console, monthly subscription fees for things like PlayStation Plus often come up and are looked at as a money hole. You paid for a game, so why should you have to pay even more just to play it the way it was designed to work? Hopefully, No Man's Sky and other PlayStation titles foregoing the PlayStation Plus requirement will encourage Sony and Microsoft to reel back some of the restrictions not paying monthly subscription fees imposed on users. Also, coming to PC is Gears of War 4. Digital Foundry's technical advisor said that the game's developers are working on having as many settings as possible for players to mess around with. After Gears' last appearance on PC as the Ultimate Edition ended up being a bug-ridden and broken mess, I'm skeptical that Gears 4 will be free of all the crazy bugs and limitations that ruined Gears' first outing on the PC. Even if Gears 4 runs great and has tons of options, it could still be held back by UWP. Microsoft has promised to make several key improvements to UWP in the near future, but until those improvements can be reviewed, I'd hold off on buying any titles off the Microsoft Store for now. The makers of the other recent flagship Xbox One game, Quantum Break, that was ported to PC with a laundry list of bugs and glitches, are now making a story mode for the Korean shooter Crossfire 2. The original Crossfire is a free-to-play Counter-Strike clone and also happens to be the world's largest free-to-play title. So it's kind of odd to see a company that makes action-adventure games heavy on dialogue and supernatural events working on such a run-of-the-mill FPS title. The past few years have seen a massive increase in the amount of American-made media being adapted for Asian markets. Most notably, an entire Call of Duty game designed for China called Call of Duty Online. You can't even really play it here in the States unless you use a VPN software to trick your computer into thinking that it's in China, and then you can download and install the game. But otherwise, there's an entire Call of Duty game out there that's free to play, but you just can't play it in the US. In other news, Microsoft dropped the price of the Xbox One to $249. This is going to be ahead of the $399 2TB Xbox One S, which is scheduled to launch on August 2nd. Microsoft still hasn't clarified any of the hints it dropped about Project Scorpio at E3. Considering the Xbox One S just offers some minor media playback upgrades, it seems reasonable to either wait it out for Project Scorpio or pick up the current Xbox One model for $249 while you still can. There are also two other capacity models of the Xbox One S on the way that haven't had their launch dates announced. In other console hardware news, Nintendo's next console, the NX, has had a ton of info leaked this week. Launching in March of 2017, the NX is expected to be some kind of portable hybrid console sporting an NVIDIA Tegra X1 processor. For a mobile processor, the Tegra X1 is a pretty impressive piece of hardware. It can run Doom in 1080p at 60 FPS, so if Nintendo is packing one in a portable device, it's sure to pack a serious punch. Nintendo's best-selling hardware these past few years have been their handheld devices. A portable console might not make much sense, but a portable console that also takes the place of the 3DS and works on a TV does. It would finally unify all of Nintendo's products and customers behind a single device, instead of having to build games specifically for platforms that may not appeal to another platform's users. Nintendo can just make one version of their games and grab everyone's attention together. This console generation is proving to be a much more flexible one, as all the major hardware makers are struggling to reconcile their need to compete with both mid-range gaming PCs and your everyday smartphone. We've come a long way since the Xbox 360 and PS3 offered the most affordable high-end gaming experiences. The next couple of years are going to be critical for Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft as they work out the fine details of keeping console hardware an affordable option that isn't turned obsolete overnight. We're at a state where just about anything seems like it could take off and become the next big thing in gaming hardware and technology. I'm still waiting on Microsoft to sort of unify the PC and console gaming experience. They're trying to do it, but man, are they screwing it up. This is something that I feel should have been done years and years ago, back when the first Xbox came out. We'll have to see if they can get Team Windows and Team Xbox to work together. Anyway, that wraps it up for this week in gaming. I hope you guys enjoyed it and are looking forward to all the new hardware and titles coming out. I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.